And I don't suppose, Mark, everyone, this is Mark Hope, who's Mr. Awesome Con Man. He runs everything. Everyone give him a round of applause. Well, what? Yes, my Wrangler's right over there. I have to distract you all now because we're having a serious conversation. But what was the question? Oh yes, Makino. There was my big inspiration for him because Isaac to me, and one of the reasons I love that role so much is because I'm a big Shakespeare nut, as I'm sure everybody knows. But for me, Isaac reminds me so much of the character Bottom from Midsummer Night's Dream. You know, the big buffoon who's like, oh my god, we do this and everything, and he's part Cliff Clavin from Cheers, and he's like, oh yes, red wine, it's called that because it's red. You know, and that's the technical term, you know, and it's really funny because that character is, that show is really dark, which is really cool about it. I mean, I could go on forever about why I think Bakano is such a great show, but that character, he and Miria are such a great team. And Tyler and I, and Caitlin and I discussed this at one point. We're like, we get it, you know, for Isaac, all the world's a stage, you know, so he's always performing. And for him, there's no line, you know, it's everything, and that even Tyler said, that's the great thing about this character, is nothing is out of character for him, you know, everything is like, you know, and that's why I would really like to cosplay Isaac at some point, but I don't know how to go about it, because Isaac is always cosplaying, so I could be a cowboy one day, I could wear like the tux and the, you know, the hat and the tails one day, and no one would know who the hell I was because I'm Isaac, and I'm like, but I'm Isaac this day. I can be Isaac with the fro and the hippie, you know. But I love that that character was so much fun, and it was the first time I experienced this. Most of the characters I had played up at that point were very kind of low key and kind of laid back, and so me in front of the mic is my hands in my pockets, kind of sitting there doing this. That's right, I'm Donkey or I'm Toma or whatever, you know. But Isaac is so big and all over the place that I would do things like this in the booth in front of the mic. And, you know, when you're in the booth, there's this big glass wall between you and the engineers. And no, nothing broke. It's thick glass, thank God. But you know, but the engineer and the director can see everything you're doing. And Corey Charlotte, who was the engineer for that show, and Tyler kind of have a station, and they're sitting here, both kind of looking at me. And it became this contest of, let's see how huge and ridiculous Tatum can get today. And when I get into character, when you get into a line read, you get kind of swept up into the animation, which you're watching while you're recording. And my body would just be like, blah! You know, and you kind of freeze when you're done with a take. Just to kind of, like, they rewind it and they see if it fit, and you just kind of, I would freeze like this, or some other ridiculous position, in front of the mic, just waiting to see if it fit, because, you know, I'm staying in character. You know, it's psychotic. What are you going to do? And every time, like, Corey would just be like, what the hell are you doing? And there was he did that one time where for some reason I was in front of the mic, and it's the scene where they're talking to Jacuzzi about, no, you can do anything you want, and you know, it was actually before that, but I was getting to that scene, and I was doing this for some reason. And Corey was like, could you stop moving in front of the mic? It's like, and I'm like, you know, and so we finally, so I had to like do this. So Corey's like, do you have to do this? I'm like, yes, I do, shut up. And then he's like, oh, what the hell is wrong with you, Tatum? And then like a few scenes later, we got to something, and Isaac was actually doing this. And I'm like, I know this guy. Screw you, Corey. Corey's like, you can do whatever you want now. Just stop it. Every time, when I would look out and just see Tyler just going, and Corey would just be like, and every time, and then there's the big noise he makes as he's jumping when he's in that ridiculous, you know, Dr. Moriarty, Professor Moriarty costume, when he does that, whoa! That was a one-take thing, which Corey is like, how loud are you going to be? I'm like, loud. Alright, let's do that. And Corey tried so hard not to laugh, because he's, you know, got to be Mr. Professional, and I'm like, I'll make you laugh. This is going to crack you up. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm like, here we go. Come for the cue. Corey's like, so works, and after a while you work on that show, and the character just kind of became his own inspiration, because he would come in and have so much fun on the show that I'm like, it just kind of, that character is I won't say that character is me, but I hope that's me when I'm an old man. I want to be that crazy guy that's like, let's rob a liquor store, because I want Fritos. Because what a way to live! I mean, that's awesome, you know? You can never figure out. That's the cool thing about Isaac and Miria. They have such a great relationship because Caitlin and I figured out that Miria is his understudy. Like, she's there to, you know, that's why she's like, and he's like, amazing! Amazing! You know, she's his understudy. If ever he's, you know, out for the count, you know, she can take on Hamlet, you know, she's there. And, but what a great way to live, just to be that crazy, you know, and eccentric. Life is a big, you know, theatrical thing. It's fun, so that was mine. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
I didn't start with Bakano, right? Okay, we started.
Yeah.
All right. Other questions? Yes, you. Yes.
I heard you in a commentary once with Caitlin Glass, and you were saying how when you do Kyoya on Auron, you kind of, when you go out of the studio, you kind of channel him when you're doing, like, buying a car or something. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, absolutely, all the time. You should see me when I'm...
You said how you push your glasses up like he does.
Yeah, I'll sit there and I'll just be kind of, you know, in fact, I haven't bought a car since doing Auron. No connection, that was just, I mean, I'm sure the next time I do buy a car, I will become Kyoya, totally be like, oh, these numbers look really amazing. Let me show you some photographs I have of you. And see if you can crunch those numbers a little for me. But every time, I mean, that's totally, there are times when that character, he just sort of comes, I mean, Kyoya reminds me a lot of me in high school, a lot. Not that I was ever that cool, you know, or cute, or sexy, or anything like that, but I had glasses, and I hung out with a group very similar to the Auron gang. You know, they're all crazy and wonderful, warm-hearted people, but there was always drama. It's high school, of course there was always drama. But I was kind of the mama, the mother hen, the one who was always like, okay, I have no, would you please stop? No, you can't drink Windex. and you know, maybe a little later, let him drink Windex, he'll learn. And yeah, and I had a friend who was very much like Tamaki, that it was just very kind of that channeled out. And it was funny because Vic became, without knowing it, Vic became that guy that I knew 15, 16 years before. I'm like, oh my God, you remind me of my best friend in high school. You even sound like him. So Kyoya came out really naturally with me going, idiots. Half of it wasn't acting. I'm like, I'm just going back in time. You know, and I was certainly didn't grow up a rich kid or go to some fancy schmancy, you know, school like, you know, that was painted pink. But other than that, it was like, you know, because I was in drama in high school, and of course, which is like saying I was in a host club. Because they've served the same function, really. And but you know, we'd have days where like, okay, today is drag day. Everyone's dressing in drag. Or today is sneaker shoe day. Everyone, and I'm like, why are we doing this? But I would always end up going along with it, you know, in the interest of solidarity. So that show, yeah, Kyoya is very, and that part of me still comes out when I find myself, you know, I'm kind of the mother hen. So if ever I'm the guy at the party who is at a party, I'm either Isaac Dean with a lampshade on his head. Look, everyone, I'm the great god of lightning, or whatever. Or, you know, like, wait, turn me on. What? Or I'm Kyoya, like picking up after people and going, you've had too much. Your keys, you know, and taking pictures and writing everything down in a blackboard. Okay, you owe me, and you're about to owe me. So yeah, in a lot of ways, curious. I can't wait to buy a car. My brother, last time I bought a car, was with me because I hate buying cars. It's a grueling experience. No one should have to do it. I wish they would just socialize it so we don't have to worry about it. You're 16, they just roll out a car to you. You don't have to talk with anybody about this whole, like, here's what I can pay a month. Okay, well, here's what we're going to offer. That's not, I can't do that. I have to do this. I'm not lying to you. I can really only do this a month, you know. And I don't know how many people here have had the experience of buying their own cars, but don't do it. Don't do it. Get a Segway or something, or just use mass transit. Cars suck. I hate cars.
I just bought one, so I understand.
Oh my God, yes. But my brother is a salesman, and he could sell. I think my father's phrase is he could sell ketchup popsicles to women in kid gloves. Sounds disgusting, but if anyone